The film begins with a SWAT team en route to an apartment complex to apprehend a crime lord named Tama Riyadi. Sergeant Jaka briefs the team on their mission, explaining that if Tama refuses to cooperate, then they are authorized to eliminate him. During the briefing, one of the team members is visibly trembling with fear and anxiety. Rama questions Sergeant Jaka about the timing of the raid, asking why is it happening today instead of at any other time, but he receives no response. As they approach the target location, just 30 seconds away, the team readies their gear, and Jaka reminds them that he doesn't want to see any empty seats when the mission is over. The SWAT team arrives at the apartment complex undetected and meets up with Lieutenant Wayu. Sergeant Jaka briefs him on a plan, and they split into two teams to infiltrate the building silently. The team successfully enters without alerting any of Tama's gang members, methodically moving floor by floor and detaining residents as they go. When they reach the 6th floor, they encounter a man coming out of a bathroom. Sergeant Jaka orders him to stay still, and the man initially complies. However, as the SWAT members lower the weapons, the man suddenly bolts, running to warn someone on the floor above. Lieutenant Wayu fires a shot, but it's too late to stop him. The SWAT team chases after the man, but he reaches the intercom just in time to alert the gang members before they can apprehend him. Inside Tama's room, his lieutenant Mad Dog informs him that they have company. Tama instructs him to lock down the building while he calls on the neighboring residents for assistance. As soon as the call ends, two of Jaka's men stationed outside are taken out by snipers. Moments later, 3 men approach the SWAT vehicle and execute the drivers with a hail of gunfire. Meanwhile, back in the apartment hallway, a man who appears tied up runs towards a SWAT member, pleading for help. As he gets closer, it's revealed that he was never tied up. He had a gun concealed behind him this whole time. He quickly fires, dispatching a SWAT guard. The mobsters are now reclaiming control of their territory. On the 6th floor, the lights suddenly go out, and Sergeant Jaka tries to contact the driver and the guards outside, but no one is responding. Suddenly, over the intercom, Tama addresses the resident, announcing that they have unwanted guests and offering anyone who eliminates them free rent for life. Realizing they are vastly outnumbered, Jaka urges Wayu to call for backup before it's too late. Wayu, however, dismisses his concern, insisting they can handle this situation. Sensing something is off, Jaka presses him, and Wayu admits that this is not an official mission. It's off the books and no one knows they are there. He reveals that the operation was meant to secretly take out Tama, who is in league with corrupt officials in the department. Shocked, Jaka yells, asking what has he dragged them into? Before they can process the revelation, they hear a doorknob turn. Several team members take position by the door, and as it opens, a nervous SWAT member fires his shotgun, briefly illuminating the dark hallway. In an instant, a barrage of bullets flood the hallway, taking out the team. It becomes clear that Tama's men had been lying in wait, ready to ambush anyone who revealed themselves. Now caught in a fire in the dark, the SWAT team returns fire while retreating to the nearest room, effectively trapping themselves. With no option to escape through the windows or the door, Rama begins stomping on the floor, searching for a weak spot. Once he finds one, he uses an axe to break through, creating an opening for them to drop down to the lower level safely. After landing on the lower floor, they manage to take out a few of Tama's men, but soon bullets start tearing through the door. Realizing they can't exit through the main entrance, they attempt to break through the floor again. This time, however, gunfire erupts from below, hitting several SWAT members and cutting off their escape. Desperate to survive, Rama comes up with a clever plan. He places a gas tank inside a refrigerator and with the help of his SWAT teammates, pushes it towards the door. He then tosses a grenade into the fridge just as the mobsters start firing, resulting in a massive explosion, taking out the mobsters. Meanwhile, in Tama's room, one of the security cameras go out due to the blast. Sensing the need to end the conflict quickly, Tama sends in his top lieutenants, Mad Dog and Andy. For the first time, Tama seems visibly worried. After the explosion, Jaka and his team stealthily make their way back up to the 6th floor. Rama and injured teammate temporarily split from the rest of the group. Rama decides to take his injured friend to Ghaffar, a random stranger they encountered earlier, believing that Ghaffar is a good person and is not involved with the monster's dealings. Suddenly, a group of people armed with knives ambushes them. Armed with just 2 batons and a knife, Rama fights fiercely to defend himself and his injured comrade. He takes down several attackers, but more keep coming. One by one, they try to overpower him, but Rama fends them off, eventually finishing the last attacker by repeatedly smashing his head into the wall. When Rama and his injured ally reach Gaffar's room, they knock, but Ghaffar initially refuses to open the door, even with his wife urging him not to get involved. Though hesitant, Ghaffar eventually lets them in and hides them behind a secret wall before Tama's men can get a hold of them. Soon after, mobsters burst in and demand to know if Ghaffar is hiding anyone. He insists it's just him and his wife, but they still search the place. One mobster starts stabbing the walls to check for hidden people, and one of the strikes slices Rama in the cheek. To divert attention, Ghaffar tells him to stop destroying his home, saying this is all he had. This moment distracts the mobsters, giving Rama time to discreetly wipe the blood off the machete before they notice it. After the mobsters leave, Rama tends to his friend's wounds and decides to leave him in Ghafar's care, while he searches for a way out of the building. Along the way, he is caught by a group of men and brutal fight breaks out. Rama manages to throw one of the attackers over the ledge, but soon finds himself chased by a machete-wielding maniac. Rama runs up the stairs but is trapped in a corridor when he reaches a locked door. Now, cornered in, the pursuing mobsters quickly catch up to him. As both sides rush towards each other, Rama quickly takes down the first attacker, causing him to drop his machete. He then dispatches 2 more men, but is caught off guard by leaping assault from behind. Although he dodges the initial attack, another assailant manages to grab him on his leg. Struggling to fight them off, Rama manages to seize one of the machetes and wields it with ease. He eliminates one of the mobsters by pulling him into a jagged piece of the broken door. Now, inside one of the rooms, he finishes off more of the henchmen. In the end, he overpowers the last attacker by driving him through the window, with both of them falling out together. They land on a fire escape, and Rama quickly rolls away from the incoming gunfire into another room. As he stumbles down the hallway, nearly fainting and exhausted, he is suddenly grabbed by someone. Meanwhile, Sergeant Jacka's team prepares to search for Rama's group. Lieutenant Yu argues that they are likely already eliminated and suggests they focus on finding a way out instead. Jack insists that those are his men and he would do whatever it takes to find them. As they prepare to leave, Mad Dog ambushes them. Yu takes off while Mad Dog and Jacka face off. Mad Dog forces Jack into a nearby room and disassembles his firearm, explaining that he prefers not to use it because it takes away from the thrill of the fight. He then charges at Jacka, delivering a series of body strikes. Jacka manages to block the attacks and tries to counter by flipping Mad Dog over and pushing him away. He even catches Mad Dog in a sleeper hold, but he breaks free and escapes, retaliating with a knee to Jacka's face. As he continues to unleash punishing blows, Mad Dog seems to relish the fight. When Jacka finally staggers back to his feet, Mad Dog finishes him off with a swinging neckbreaker, leaving him incapacitated. Elsewhere, Rama discovers that it was his long-lost brother who pulled him in the room. To Rama's surprise, Andy is one of Tama's lieutenants. Rama reveals that he accepted this mission in hopes of bringing Andy back at their father's request. Andy urges Rama to leave immediately, but he refuses to abandon his comrades or his brother. Andy, however, is unwilling to leave with Rama, expressing that he has nowhere else to go and fears that his father will be even more disappointed in him for the person that he has become. Unable to reach an agreement, Andy decides to depart, advising Rama to at least wait until the coast is clear before trying to escape. Shortly after, Rama reunites with the remaining members of his team, and they plan to head to the 15th floor where Thomas is hiding. They launch a surprise attack on a room full of mobsters who are busy preparing flour for baking cake. With the help of his teammates, Rama takes out multiple targets. Once they finish off the remaining mobsters, they rush up the stairs before more of Thomas' men are aware of their plan. Rama then hears screaming and decides to separate from the group. He discovers his brother tied up and being brutally beaten like a heavy bag in a gym. It turns out that Tama caught Andy on camera assisting Rama and is punishing him for it. As Rama enters the room, Mad Dog releases Andy so they can both confront him together in a 2-on-1 fight. Both men launch their attacks at Mad Dog, who easily defends himself, especially since Andy has already been beaten up and Rama just finished the brawl. Mad Dog manages to drop Andy, but Rama counters with a series of kicks, successfully taking Mad Dog down. As he fights his way back up, Mad Dog unleashes a powerful knee and elbow combo on Rama, then targets Andy with more knee strikes. Despite their efforts, both brothers team up to attack Mad Dog, but he still manages to evade them and retaliates effortlessly. After exchanging multiple blows, Rama and Andy manage to throw Mad Dog off balance, slowly gaining the upper hand. They hold him by his feet and head, but he breaks free and strikes Rama multiple times in the head before launching him up and smashing the light bulb above them. Using his advantage, he catches Rama in a chokehold, leaving him on the verge of unconsciousness. In a moment of desperation, Andy spots the broken light bulb and uses it against Mad Dog, freeing Rama. Empowered, Mad Dog retaliates by slamming Andy's head against the ground. but in a final showdown, Rama ultimately finishes him off for good. Back on the 15th floor, Ryu and the remaining SWAT member make their way to Thomas' room and hold him at gunpoint. They restrain him, but without warning, Ryu shoots the last SWAT member and begins to take Tama down the stairs with him. Accepting that there's no way out, Ryu decides to finish off Tama and attempts to take his own life, but his gun runs out of bullets. Meanwhile, Rama and Andy witness the entire incident from the stairway. The film concludes with Andy speaking over the intercom, informing the residents that it's all over. He then releases the remaining SWAT members, declaring himself the new leader of the place.